So we are truly honored and genuinely grateful to Sumit sir. He has accepted our request to share his journey with us, and we are really thankful to him. So, Sumit sir, uh, it is really pleasure for us to have you here, and we wanted to know about your journey so far, and how hair transplant has changed your, I can say, life, or how it has changed your perspective, how it has changed your persona and all. So we want to talk about all these thing in today's interview with you. So we did your hair transplant, I think, 1 year back, and how is the journey so far?
Yeah, first thing, doctor, it's a privilege to be sitting with you and doing this video because the journey has been incredible. The surgery which I underwent last September, exactly 1 year back, has been nothing short of transformational. It's not that I was struggling with self esteem issues earlier. I was pretty comfortable with the way I was, but barring instances, isolated instances, when somebody used to point out that earlier you used to have a crown full of hair, now you are bald. Actually, that particular moment, there were uncomfortable moments. I'll not deny that. But overall, I was confident. But then, as luck would have it, I came here. Suddenly, I decided that I need to get a hair transplant. And while going through many clinics, I went through 7, 8 clinics, including the internationally most reputed chains. And then I came here. Frankly speaking, financial consideration was not never a major issue with me. I think concern was to decide on a clinic which can deliver results. When I came to you, sir, the day I came, I remember it was a Monday, and I came in the evening around 6 o'clock. You examined me that particular moment. Then I spoke to your coordinator. She said, "Sir is available after 3, 4 days." I immediately said, "Do the surgery." Now sitting here after another year and now planning for the second session of hair transplant, I can say that in my case, results were nothing short of phenomenal. And in fact, going around in office or in social circles, people say I look 20 years younger. And who wouldn't want to look younger?
That's great, actually.
So I'll say that the journey has been very good, very gratifying.
So, do you mind if I ask few questions related to your journey?
Yeah.
So, this is your before picture 1 year back, and this is now you are having this sort of result now.
I
So
don't
what
believe
do
it
you
is the
think
same
about?
person. And I think nobody will ever believe that this is the same person. There's a difference which is actually, I don't think the other person looks like me, the earlier one.
So while searching all the clinics and when you really decided that you should opt for hair transplant, what are the factors actually you were looking into all those clinic that these things should be present in this particular clinic so that I would be going with this?
The first thing, I went to many chains also, the chains which are into hair transplant, but actually they were not very open about doctor's credentials who's going to operate on me. That was my first consideration. The doctor who's operating on me, I should be aware about his credentials, like what is his education level and other things. They were saying, "Nahi, we have a panel of doctors, one of the doctors will operate upon you." That was my first consideration. Second consideration, though cost wasn't an issue, but again, everyone looks for a competitive pricing, but results. And third thing, the patient testimonials also. Went by Google reviews and other things. So these were some of the major considerations which were in my mind. And lastly, one important thing, when I came to your clinic, I was given a very honest assessment that your entire transplant has to be done in 2 stages. One at the onset, on the front portion, temples and all, and second, crown will be done later on. Many hair clinics told me that we'll use 3,000 grafts and we'll give you both the crown coverage as well as the temple coverage. But point here was that I have seen many hair transplant cases, and they are having a very sparse kind of a hair.
Most of the ethical clinic, they follow this approach only because our donor areas are limited. We have only a limited number of grafts on our back, and we are having a very huge space to cover. It is very logical actually to do surgery in 2 or 3 sessions to cover those areas, because it has been researched that if we do surgery in 2 3 session, graft yield will increase. So definitely it helps covering larger area with less number of graft, limited number of graft, you can say.
Yeah, I agree. But actually, what majority of the clinics play upon is that a patient's anxiety or say his more than keenness to get a crown full of hair at the earliest. And it can be done, if it can be done in one sitting, why not? Clinics actually play on that part of a patient's psyche.
But this is the problem actually nowadays, that hair transplant are being done by non-medicos also, and this sort of problem usually people are facing in those clinics. In doctor's clinic, whenever you see a doctor clinic, they usually follow an ethical approach most of the time. Okay, and should be the ideal approach, because we are here to give you a proper result. We are here to solve your problem, not to like just for the sake of surgery doing it. Okay, so this is the usual approach for most of the clinic, and we also follow the same approach. You must have seen 2-3 clinics before coming to Skinroots, and I guess you must have visited 2-3 good clinics also, like doctor's clinic. They must have given you similar kind of approach.
Yeah.
Is this the case, or
to be very honest, majority of the clinics I focused initially wasn't because I wasn't very aware about the entire process. It wasn't that I researched the process very well. Majority of the clinics I went to were the big chains, cosmetic chains, which were doing hair transplant, and some of the clinics which are exclusively into some of the chains which are exclusively into hair transplant business. I've spoken to a couple of doctors also, some of the reputed ones based on the Google reviews, and some of the doctors told me we'll do the entire thing in one sitting only. We'll harvest your 8,000 grafts and we'll do it in one sitting only.
8,000 grafts?
Yeah, that is one of the most reputed clinics actually gave me this thing. We'll do it over 2 days, but we'll do it in one sitting, so you don't have to shave your head again.
8,000 graft is possible, but again the same thing, we can do it in 2-3 sessions. It should be done in multiple sessions, because if we are doing it in one session, we are ending up thinning your donor area, so it is not advisable.
And in fact, sir, to be very honest, I saw one hair transplant in my office also. The person actually has bald patches visible at the back, and I didn't want to look like that.
Still we have good amount of donor area. We have examined you already. We have good amount of donor area left with us for the second session. How do you feel about your decision of getting hair transplant done, and what impact it has created? Like, what is the change you have seen post hair transplant?
I think this is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I can only say that I'm so glad that I have made a decision to get a hair transplant, and secondly, I've decided to get it done at Skinroots. And as far as the change is concerned, obviously when you become more presentable, and all of us are moving all the time around in society, so being presentable helps, whether it is personal life or professional life. Definitely it makes a lot of difference. The message I will like to give to everyone is that first thing is that your personality is much more than hairs. You be comfortable with yourself, be confident, be comfortable, just try to give your best in everything. But if there are certain things which can be improved by some cosmetic procedures, and if you can afford, if you are in a position to get it done, then please get it done. But in case you are not in a position to get it done either because of financial consideration or other thing, don't fret over it. Live the way life is. It is always beautiful. I'll also like to mention that before getting any cosmetic procedure done, whether it is a big procedure or a small procedure, do proper research. Today in this internet age, everything is available on Google. Read through things, go to couple of clinics, get a first hand assessment of how things are, and then take a decision. And there are some medicines which needs to be taken, and if it is a hair loss triggered by a hormonal abnormality, so it needs to be fixed with a proper medicine.
So we are continuing with the journey of your hair restoration, and we are here to give you a further good look for your next year.
I hope so, sir. I hope you again take my interview another 5-6 months down the line, and again I'll be doubly more happy doing it.